So did she leave because she was angry at you?
She's going through her own issues right now, and we did have a confrontation, which I do regret. Part of me is like, well, no, she wants to be an adult. She can get those documents herself if she doesn't want to come back. So I'm kind of confused as if I'm being controlling and manipulating, or if I don't even know what I'm supposed to feel right now.
Right. Amy, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was calling in because I have a question. I've been listening. I just recently found your channels of Bond. I used to watch the other one, Fallen State, but I just recently started. I didn't even know there was that channel, and I've been learning a lot of things. And I have a question. It's in regards to my daughter. I want to know if how to go move forward, in what direction, and if I'm being controlling. So my daughter turned 18 a few months ago, and she just left the house last week, and I don't know what to do. Like I've been trying to just give her her space and trust God with the situation, but she's very close to graduating, and I really don't know what to do.
You mean she moved
She,
out?
yeah, she just. I was taking a shower, and then next thing you know, um, I she left. She had her luggage, her done, and she left. I looked at the cameras, and yeah, she had like I don't know where she went.
And she's still in high school, you say?
Yes, she's a senior.
So did she leave because she was angry at you?
She's going through her own issues right now, and we did have a confrontation, which I do regret.
So
So
she's,
that just made it worse.
yeah. So she's angry at you, and that's why she moved out.
I'm part of it. She's going through her own things, and I just made it worse for her.
So she's angry at you, and that's why she moved out.
Yes.
And where's her father? Her father doesn't live there?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, is she? So does she see her father at all or talk to him?
No, he moved to a different state, and he's not really very involved in her life.
And why not?
And he's just doing his life, living like a bachelor. That's what he's always just been doing,
Have
his
you
own life.
have you tried? Have you kept her away from her father?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm the one that when he does come to Texas, I'm the one that finds a way for them to spend time together. And he always promises he will, but then he leaves again.
How do you feel about his father? Her father?
Mm, I don't, I nothing really. I mean, I already made peace with it. At first, I was kind of disappointed because I didn't think he would turn out this way. I thought he's the one that really he wanted us to have a child, and I thought he was going to be the perfect father and stuff. And then seeing how he wasn't present really would hurt me at first, but I've already made peace with it.
And so, how do you feel about her father?
Not angry. I just nothing anymore.
You were
She's
angry.
old already.
I'm sorry.
She's already old. When I was younger, I would feel hurt and upset and I guess angry at the same time. But now she's already 18 and I managed to deal with it. So now it's like it is what it is with him. I don't feel anger towards him. Maybe I'm disappointed if anything, but I don't feel anger anymore.
Are you disappointed in her father or in you?
In both.
But why are you
In me.
disappointed? I'm sorry.
In it used to be in him and in me, but now it's more if anything in me.
And what are you disappointed in yourself about?
Um I making wrong choices.
Amy, can you hold? Let me take a break. Did you let her father know she's gone?
Her father doesn't really care.
Did you let him know?
No, I don't have his number anymore.
Oh, I see. Um, So, is it legal for boys and girls to leave home at 18 in Texas?
Yes, they're considered adults.
Oh, it is. So, are you able to reach her by cell phone?
Yes, and I've been trying to message her here and there, asking her to come back home. But
Eh,
I also don't want to be controlling by doing so. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do.
So, here's what I recommend. So, when you say you don't want to be controlled, did she say, okay, I'll come back, but you can't control me?
No, she just says she doesn't want to come back. And she asked me if I can give her her documents, like her birth certificate and her social security number, I guess, so she can sign up to a different high school that's closer to wherever she's at. And I kind of wanted to tell her, look, let's make a compromise. But I'm so scared that this could come up as manipulating, where I tell her, come back, you're about to graduate. If things don't work out and you still want to leave, I'll give them to you. And part of me is like, well, no, she wants to be an adult. She can get those documents herself if she doesn't want to come back. So I'm kind of confused as if I'm being controlling and manipulating, or if I don't even know what I'm supposed to feel right now.
Right. Did she leave? Did she leave with a? Does she have a boyfriend or something?
No, she didn't have a boyfriend. We recently started going to church, and she started changing her behaviors a lot, um, dramatically. But she was still dealing with a lot of demons herself, mental stuff because of high school and what she's going through with, her friends in school and bullying and all that stuff. And no, she didn't have a boyfriend, but she does have a really good friend guy that I think she might be with him. I know where he lives. I just haven't tried driving around because I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing that or not since she's 18, and maybe I'm stepping over my boundaries if I do that.
And so you say you just recently start going to church, or she did, and then as a result of going to church, she developed bad behavior.
No, she used to have really bad behavior. She was very hard to deal with. Even her dad couldn't handle her whenever he would come and visit. Um, she was just very rebellious. But now that she started going to church, she had been changing drastically. She would listen and she wouldn't be so always angry about just being told anything. But at the same time, I noticed that the closer she got to God, I feel like the more mental she was fighting her own demons, like 'cause she was fighting against her old behaviors, and she was going through something that I could tell was dark. Um,
And you said that this happened as a result of getting closer to God.
Yeah, it was after going to church. I guess because now she was, instead of just going to accepting her feelings as normal, like whatever she would do before, like being very defensive. Before you couldn't tell her anything, she would get defensive. Now is like everything she would try to fight it and her change her behaviors to in ways that were just different, pleasing to God, and she would have really good times, but at the same time, she would sometimes it would kind of come back at her
Oh, okay.
and fight, like say, "Why are you even trying? Like it's nothing's gonna change." Like her friends, they would always still try to tempt her. She had to stop talking to almost everyone, and that just made everything so much difficult for her because she felt into like a depression where she felt very alone, and she even said she felt suicidal because now she couldn't hang around with the old friends because the old friends weren't good friends to be around. And then at church, she made a bunch of new friends, but then she felt like they didn't really like her, like she wasn't fitting in with them either. So she was just going through her own battles mentally.
Right. And so your question for me is what?
I don't know what to do at this point. Like, part of me wants to. I don't know if I'm being manipulative, if by doing this, if I. She asked me for me to give her her social security and her birth certificate. I'm guessing so she can enroll somewhere else at a different high school closer to wherever she's at. And I want to tell her like, no, why don't you come back home and just finish you're so close to graduating. If things you still don't feel comfortable being here and you're still going through your things, I'll give you whatever it is that you need, and then you can leave after you graduate. And part of me is like, when she wants to be an adult and leave because she's 18 now, then she can try to go get those documents herself. So I'm fighting this, not knowing which one to do. If I should just accept that she wants to be gone and give her her things, or let her go through the struggle of, well, you want to be an adult, you get them yourself. Like because there are things that you have to do as an adult anyways for yourself.
Amazing.
Or if to give her an ultimatum, come back home, and if things don't work out, um, I'll give you your stuff, and then you can just leave.
Well, the one thing I want to tell you for sure is that your daughter hate you, and all her problems began with you, and she is yearning for her father. She's looking for that emptiness to be fulfilled. She's looking for the love of a father. She's yearning for him. But what I would recommend to you is that you apologize to her for imposing your will upon her, trying to make her be and act the way you thought she should be rather than being an example for her. She hates you for that. So her problems did not start at church or at school. It started at home with you. That's why she doesn't want to be with you, because she hates you. And I would apologize for that. And then for turning her away from her father, I would apologize for that. And then I would start working on myself to overcome evil. I would work on myself. I would recommend you do that. And as for when you apologize for recreating her in your image, because you have done to her exactly what your mother has done to you, and once you apologize for that, if she still doesn't want to come home, I would give. She's 18, and Tessie, you said it's legal. There's nothing else you can do because you can't make her come back at 18. And if you force her to come back, it's going to be pure hell. She's only going to get worse because she hates you. And unless she forgive you, it wouldn't work if she came back.
So should I just give her? I don't think she hates me about her dad, because she tried living with him.
No, she hates you because you have imposed your will on her. She doesn't hate you about her father. She's yearning for her father, but she hates the fact that you have been imposed your will on her, and now she's become like you.
Okay.
And you said she lived with her father for a while?
Yeah, she tried to live with him, and they didn't get along. He couldn't, because I would always ask him for help, like, help me. I can't do, like, just, you promise you're gonna be here for her, and then you always leave, and I know that makes her angry. When we fall for your promises, and you do it again, and you've been doing this all her life. And she tried to go live with him, but it didn't even work out a month. And then she still stayed over there with him for a while, but she said she was the most unhappiest because he didn't want to be a father. He didn't like the responsibility. Or
Well, I will highly recommend you take your eyes off her father and you take your eyes off of her and look at you. Because if she didn't have problem with you, there's no way she would have ran away in that way. She would have taken off like that. Because she would have love for you instead of hating you. Do you see where you went wrong with her by imposing your will on her?
Yeah, I guess I do.
You don't see it clearly?
I really don't think I was that terrible of a mom.
Yeah, you were.
It was just she's always had a difficult attitude. And I would talk to her. She says she hates that I'm always talking to her.
Yeah. She hates that you're trying to control her. And you don't have love either. You only have hate. And when you're trying to control her, especially as a young person, she knew that it was evil, but she was subject to it. Father wasn't there to protect her from it. And now that she started hating you back as a kid, she's totally rebelling. That's why she's having the suicidal thoughts and everything, because she has your nature now, which is evil. And it's not your nature, but your mother passed it on to you, and her mother passed it on to her. And it just goes on from each generation until somebody decides to forgive.
Yeah. So should I just accept that this is something, or am I gonna make it worse because she might end up worse being wherever she's at, or do I just let her give her stuff? I don't know what moving
I
forward. What do
would,
I do?
I would do what you want, of course. All right. I would contact her and just let her know. You know what? I've been wrong. I've
Oh,
imposed my,
I did.
I've
I
imposed my will on you. I have been wrong, and I'm sorry about that. And let her know she can come back home. You want her to come back, and she can freely come back. But if she said no, 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 I don't want to come back. I'm done. And then I want my birth certificate. I want my ID so I can build my own life. Why not give them to her? She's going to go out and get them anyway. Because if you don't give them to her, in her mind, that's another form of control, and she's just going to hate you for that.
Yeah.
What do you
Okay.
think? What do you think about that?
I that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know by me not giving them to her because my best friend was like, no, she wants to act like an adult. She can get them herself, and she can see how you've always made her life easy, and maybe now she needs to see that things aren't as easy as she thinks they're going to be on her own. And one of those things is by her having to get them by herself. But at the same time, I was against not knowing if that was the right choice because I was like, well, isn't that me being manipulative or controlling in a way by just not accepting that's what she wants and just making it easy again and giving it to her?
No, I mean, it's not that difficult to get a Social Security or birth certificate anymore. Again, do what you want and what you think is best. But if you keep them after you have apologized for recreating her in your image, that you were wrong for imposing your will. That's why she hates you. And she's yearning for her father. I'm sure she doesn't like him as well. But is don't point at the father. You point at you so she can see that you can see that you're wrong. And that might cause her to realize and forgive you. But if you blame the school, if you blame the church, if you blame someone else, it's not going to help the situation at all.
Okay.
And again, once you apologize for what you've done, and if she says, I don't want to come back home, I still don't want to come. I want my birth certificate, I want this, I want to move on. She's going to have to go out now and go through the hell that all adults go through as a result of the trauma in the home. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't make her change.
To just like pray about it, just pray for her, just keep praying for her or something, or
Yeah, well, you pray for about wishing her well.
okay.
Have you forgiven your mother?
No, not the way I know I need to. I'm working on it, but not fully.
Why haven't you forgiven your mother?
I'm not sure if it's me forgiving her. It's more me being actually still afraid. And I know you said that if you're still afraid to face her and say, I forgive you because of what's going to come afterwards, then that means you still haven't forgiven her because you're still afraid to do so. And I don't have the courage to still go and tell her that because I know what's going to happen after.
What do you think would happen if you went and forgave your mother?
Probably should probably be upset, or I don't know.
And how do
I guess I'm afraid she will either get upset or maybe diminish the stuff that she did that were hurtful as a child.
yeah. Your daughter feel exactly about you the way you feel about your mother. It's the same thing. And the fact that you are afraid of her is anger, which is hatred, but to make it sound easy, anger is hatred. And the only when you have anger, you have fear. When you have fear, you have anger. You overcome anger, you overcome fear. You overcome fear, you overcome anger. You got to face your mother because you have couldn't help yourself because your mother recreated her image, and you have done exactly to your daughter what your mother done to you.
Okay.
You got to face your mother in fear and trembling. And that's how we overcome evil is by facing evil in fear and trembling. And in that is when the love, the light, the power of God save us from that. But you got to be willing to go through the fear and trembling so He can save you from hell because it's pure hell. And God will save you from it. But you got to face your mother.
So one of the things that how would I react if she just? I know she's always tried. She never like my daughter. If she tells me I did something, I always try to take accountability for it, and I do apologize to her. But with my mom is different. Like I can tell her something that was hurtful, and she always tries to be a victim, and that discourages me because I'm like, why do I even try if she's always in this victim mentality? If I do that and she starts doing that, do I just try to not be upset about it or hurt, just accept that she's broken and that's why she can't see things
Absolutely.
differently?
And she's playing a game with you. She's playing a emotional game to control you. But don't let her act. She can act like a victim. She can blame your father. She can blame somebody else. She can cry. She can even fall out and die. You still forgive her. Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you for what you have done, impose your will and turn me away from my father and all that. I realize now you can help yourself. I've done the same thing to my daughter, and I didn't want to do that, but I did. And I'm sorry for resenting you. And God will forgive you. Don't ask your mother for forgiveness. God will forgive you. The light will come on, meaning that you'll be able to see from within, and then your whole nature will start to fall apart. That old evil nature that you have, it would disappear. And so whatever she does, you let her do it. Don't feel sorry for her. Don't feel happy for her. Don't feel anything. She's just trying to manipulate and control you.
Okay.
She is evil.
Okay.
So that victim thing, mentality that she plays on you, is just another way of controlling you and everybody else around her. Don't fall for it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, she's very good at it, and that's why I try to sometimes stay away from her. But I do know that I have to face her one day, and so I
And
can find that peace.
yes, and and once again, once you understand this clearly, you apologize to your daughter, let her know you have done the same thing to her that her mother has done, your mother done to you, and you're sorry about it. You were wrong. All right. And have you uh, forgiven your father for not protecting you from your mother?
Oh, my dad's my best friend. Yeah, I don't think I've. I think when I was younger, I did feel he could have done a lot more when they got divorced. But mm, I started living with him after not that far from when they got divorced, and me and him are like super. He's like my best friend.
Right on. Well, you need to know your daughter is rebelling in the same way you did with your mother. It's the same thing. It's the same spirit. And has someone told you years ago before you had a daughter, hey, you need to forgive your mother because you become just like her? And if you had done that and you had a daughter or son, you would not have passed that evil spirit onto her.
Yeah.
And in facing yourself, don't blame her father, your daughter's father. Now that you're an adult, don't blame anyone. You got to see that you need to forgive and you'll be fine. Do the silent prayer, apologize to your daughter, and and that's all you can do. You can't make her come back.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just do that. I've apologized, and I'm just gonna tell her that if that's what she really thinks is best for her, that she can get her documents, and
Yeah,
just I'll just pray for her, keep
right.
praying that she'll be
Because
okay.
she only going to see your withhold of the paperwork as another way of trying to control her.
Yeah.
And your friend that told you to keep them away from her, the paper,
Mhm.
you got false information. Don't listen to that.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I didn't know when my friend told me that I didn't feel very sure if that was the right thing because I felt that maybe I was controlling her by doing that. Like it was a way of control.
even if you wasn't trying to do it as a way of controlling, your daughter's going to see it that way anyway. She's going to believe, okay, you say you're sorry, then give me the paperwork. Or you say, no, I'm not going to give you that. You need to get your own. She's still going to see it as a way of manipulation, that you're trying to manipulate her. But if you apologize for imposing your will on her, not having patience with her, that it wasn't love and you didn't realize at the time you're doing what your mother has done, and if she still doesn't want to come home and she wants the paperwork, give her the paperwork and let her go out and wish her well. There's nothing you can do about it. Whatever the outcome is for her, there's nothing you can do about it at this point.
Yeah, and that's what scares me, but I guess it's part of accepting that your children are grown.
At 18, they're grown, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What a mess, huh?
Yeah, it is.
What did your father tell you about it?
About her leaving?
Yes.
He's disappointed in her because he tries to talk to her. He helped me raise her, and he's always seen him as her father, and they're very close to each other, and he's disappointed because he tries to talk to her, telling her to, that it wasn't easy raising her alone, and for her to change her ways and stuff like that. And she does listen to him, but I don't know. I guess there's a lot of things that...
Well, it's not her fault that she's that way. It's your fault and her father's fault. It's not her fault. Now, it's her fault as an adult if she doesn't start working on herself to overcome anger. And it's unfortunate your father doesn't understand that because he doesn't seem to give sound advice either as to how to help her.
Yeah. He tries. He really does, because I know he loves her and he cares for her. He raised her. He helped me raise her, but I guess we're just a mess.
Yeah.
We don't know what's right anymore and what isn't.
Are you doing the silent prayer, my silent prayer?
I just barely found out about your channel a few days ago, and I haven't tried it. I saw your video, but
Yeah.
I haven't tried it. I'm scared to try it, to be honest, because part of it, I don't know if it's like meditation, like New Age, and it scares me.
No, it's not meditation. You want to observe. You want to observe the imagination, the thoughts. And you will be, once you forgive your mother, you're going to be separated from the thoughts. And because when your mother traumatized you, you escaped into your imagination trying to survive, and you stayed too long. And now it's time for you to come out of those thoughts. So you don't want to meditate on anything. You don't want to control anything. You just want to be aware of the evil that's inside your imagination, and the light of God will destroy it. You have a clear mind.
Okay.
No, you don't want to meditate on anything. And you can still do your little hooping and hollering prayer stuff. And then once you're done hooping and hollering, be still and know God.
Yeah, that's something that now that I found this channel right here, the Bond, it's very interesting how I'm learning that your thoughts are not of good.
No.
And I need to fight them off, and I've always suffered from anxiety.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's because of my thoughts. My thoughts are always there to just...
And those thoughts are not your own. You only keep those thoughts alive because you're holding on to anger. You're unwilling to forgive. And because you're unwilling to forgive, God can't help you. He can't draw you in to the light until you're unwilling to forgive, so he can change your heart from hate to love. Mm-hmm. Let me know how it goes, all right, Amy?
Thank you. I appreciate it, Jesse.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye now.